Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Fortnite video. In today's video, it's going to be a highly requested video. Everyone's asking me, how do you do this with shotguns? How do you become a god? And how do you get better at hitting people with shotguns, whether it's tactical, whether it's pump? And I'm going to be covering that all in today's video. So I'm pretty sure you guys will enjoy this. If you guys could smack a like on this video, that would be absolutely amazing. Let's go ahead and go for 320 likes. If we could hit that, that would be amazing. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new already. I really do appreciate everyone dropping likes on this video, everyone subscribing and stuff like that, and we'll talk about the ultimate tips when it comes to shotguns. So the first thing I want to mention is the double pump was a very popular strategy with shotguns. That was nerfed now a little while ago, and the gameplay is going to be seen from me. Some are a bit older, some are brand new that I literally just got like a day ago, but basically I wanted to compile some of my best moments with shotguns, but I made sure to not include any double pump because that strategy would not be valuable today. So most of it's going to be either pump to tactical action or just straight on tactical action. We're going to cover all that in today's videos. Basically the best combo right now, because the double pump is nerfed, is the one pump. You get one shot with that pump shotgun into a tactical and then spray them down with that tactical. That is the best combo for early game. For late game, you probably won't have that combo because it will take up, of course, 2 slots in your inventory, but that's definitely the best combo to work with. Just make sure you do not switch back to your pump when it goes, you get one shot with the pump and then you're going to have to finish them off with the tactical, because if you go back to the pump, it'll be mid-cocking and it definitely won't work because of that new update, or not really new update, but the update that came out a little while ago. So that's what we have to talk about as far as the best loadout with these shotguns. Now, let's talk about it. So shotguns are probably going to be the best weapons early game, especially if you're landing at retail row, tilted towers, any of these more populated areas. That's when shotguns are really going to do the most work for you. And early game, you're going to want to find a shotgun as soon as you land. So a good tip for finding shotguns is you have to check for floor spawns. Basically what I mean by that is opening chests is great early game. It's a great way to get shields, heals, even some great weapons. But the fact is you cannot get a shotgun from a chest. So you're going to have to, pick up off the ground and find those loot locations where not where chests are, but where the ground spawn locations are, which of course are vary every single game, but they are fairly consistent. So if you land on tilted, land in a spot near a lot of floor spawns and you'll be able to pick up yourself a shotgun. Now, first thing about shotguns is to understand how to be a god with them and how to destroy people with shotguns. You have to understand how shotguns work. And basically, I see a lot of people always saying, why did my shotgun hit them for 10 damage? Why did my shotgun do 8 damage and stuff like that? Some people seem to think it's a glitch in the game, but it actually is by design, believe it or not. So the thing with shotguns is they don't shoot like normal bullets. They like from an assault rifle, shotguns shoot with pellets. So it's sort of a spray of pellets. So the fact is, if you're hitting someone for 10 damage or 20 damage, the farther away the enemies are, the less damage you're going to do, because less pellets are going to reach them. And also, of course, the longer the range, the less damage. And also, if you're only hitting them in the foot or hitting them with one of your pellets out of the possibility of all the pellets, say you're only hitting them with one, you're going to get 8 to 10 or sometimes like 20 damage, and that's how that comes. So if you're getting shots that are usually hitting people for 8 damage or low amounts, it means that either one, you're shooting them from way too far away, which a shotgun's range is pretty much up close and personal. I'd say probably within 5 to 10 feet, depending on the shotgun and the situation, or you're just completely missing, not completely missing the shot, but missing a lot of the shot, and that's why you're hitting them for low damage. And that's basically how these shotguns work. So let's talk about how to win gunfights with these shotguns. Once you have your shotgun set up and you have your pump into the tactical, which is used very effectively, how to actually win these gunfights with shotguns, there's a couple tips into winning gunfights. The first one, which is a major key, is aim for the head. Now the damage from shotguns can vary anywhere from around 60 or 65 to 95, depending on going from a tactical to a pump, and that's of course your up close damage. Now if you hit them in the head, you can see up to a 250% multiplier. So the fact is, headshots are pretty much the only way to go. I can't count how many times I've been 100, feeling really good with my health bar and my shield bar, going to look for some fights to tilt the towers and just get one pump to the head. It's very, very frustrating, but the fact is that headshots are the only way to go. And if you're in a 1v1 shotgun battle, whoever hits the headshot first usually will win, or you could just spray them down to the body. But I would always recommend keeping your crosshair when you're rushing someone with a shotgun or you're approaching someone with a shotgun. You can of course hear enemies coming. In this game, sound is a major key, and that's why I don't recommend, I love to listen to music and podcasts, but I usually will just be talking to some friends and have that at a medium volume, and then have my game volume cranked up on my headphones, especially for that early game, because I want to hear where the enemies are. Knowing where the enemies are, you get that crosshair set up around their head level, and you can get those one-shot kills, even with like a green tactical or something like that. Of course, you have for tacticals the green, the blue, and the purple. That's the points where you want to pick them up. They're all great, but the green to the blue to the purple, that's the order of importance with them. And with the pump shotguns, you only have the common, which is the gray, and then you have the green one. So those are the two orders, and those are the different variants of shotguns that are available. Next tip for winning gunfights is aim for the head. Of course, that's the #1 tip, but sort of to quick scope with your shotgun. Basically, the fact that I said earlier about how the pellets work, if you're aim down sights, your accuracy will be a little bit better, but of course you don't want to be aimed down sights because then your mobility is all off. You can't see as much of the screen. So what I recommend doing is sort of like a quick scope, or basically when you see them, when you're about to take that shot, left trigger, right trigger, aim in, and boom, shoot that shot like you would quick scope with a sniper rifle or something like that. It sounds dumb, but it is the best way and the most effective way to use shotguns. And if you watch people who are very good with them, they will, and that's more useful for the tactical shotgun. With the pump, you can just spray it off hip fire because it is such a strong weapon and such high damage. But with the tactical, I definitely recommend doing this strategy where you're sort of quick scoping the enemies. That's how you can, that's my second main tip for winning gunfights with these shotguns. And as far as my third main tips goes for winning gunfights with these shotguns is usually when you're rushing someone with a shotty, they're probably going to have a shotgun too. Of course, sometimes you'll get those unsuspecting enemies who landed late with a poor landing with a pickaxe, or maybe they have an AR, and you should always win those gunfights with shotguns. It's very frustrating for myself, like when I land at tilted, and sure, I might get loot of like a pretty good a weapon, but if you don't get those close range weapons, you will get destroyed by these shotguns because they are so good in this game. So my third tip is to make sure you're evading your enemy while also trying to hit them. So completely opposite of the tips I give with assault rifles and how to aim better, where you have to be crouched and standing still to hit people with ARs. With shotguns, you want to be running and jumping around and making sure your enemy is missing their shot, especially if you're using a pump shotgun, because the pump shotgun, during that time that you're basically cocking the shotgun, you're going to be completely vulnerable. You want to make sure your enemies can miss their shots. The way that I do that very effectively is I have a Scuff gaming controller and I play on PS4, and basically what that is it's a controller with paddles on the back, which the left paddle actually allows me to jump, so I can sort of jump while keeping my hands on the triggers as well as on the thumbstick. So that's how I'm able to do that so well. Scuff gaming controllers are definitely the best way to do this, and how to aim while jumping and stuff like that. It's a very useful controller for a lot of shooter games on console. They are quite expensive, but if you have the money, upwards of $100 and stuff like that, it definitely is a great controller. Of course, you can do this just with practicing by hitting the button and then, you know, a quick transition from your thumbstick over to the A or the X button to jump and then back over. It's not too hard. Scuff controllers is what I've always used and what I'm used to using. If you guys ever want to get one of those, the link will be down in the description, and I'm actually sponsored by them, and you can use code Goblin for a discount on those. But that's some tips I have for winning these shotgun gunfights. Next thing is shotguns, while they are mostly useful in the early game and in fighting in the early game in towns and stuff like that, they are also useful out in the open in late game. However, you have to have the proper building to be able to get up to enemies. And one strategy that I see a lot of the times is building straight up with the ramps and getting above people. Now, to counter that, you have to make sure that as soon as you see your enemy starting to do that, you have to go straight up with them, and it's basically a battle for the vertical advantage. With shotguns, you always want to have that vertical advantage on the enemies, and that's what I would say is a major key. You need to be able to build ramps, get close to your enemy, and be able to gap close to use shotguns a more late game. That's probably more of like a building thing. I made a video on how to build like a pro, so you probably want to check that one out. As far as the difference, because I know there's going to be a big debate in the comments, what is better, the tactical or the pump? Now, if you have perfect aim in a situation where you would have perfect aim, which of course none of us do, the pump would be better because it does do higher damage. However, your fire rate on the pump is not going to be even comparable to the tactical. So if you don't trust your aim as much, or maybe you're more of a beginner player, I would recommend always going with the tactical. Another thing of course, I like to go with both. If you have the option to do both is the best way to do it, because you get that easy pump shot and then transition into the tactical. Another thing is that at range, the pump actually does some good damage at mid-range, which is kind of weird. So that's why more of those in open gunfights, if you're going for more of long-range shots and you trust your shot, you probably want to hold the pump into the late game. However, if you want that up close and personal action and you don't want to choke late game, I'd suggest sticking with a tactical. And also depends on the gun that you have. Of course, if it's a green pump, versus a green tactical, I would personally take the green pump every single time. But if you have, purple tactical versus a common pump, I'd probably take the purple. So it all depends on that. You want to look out and try to make sure that by late game, you at least have a green pump or a blue or purple tactical to take into late game, because other people will have scars, they will have good shotguns, and that's some tips I would say as far as they go. Both shotguns are great. They're just tactical is more for spraying and up close, pump is more for that long range and hitting your shots and doing more damage at range, and that's basically what I'd say. So both shotguns are good. I suggest practicing and utilizing both of them to the best of their abilities, especially with that 1-2 combo. Thanks for watching, guys. If you guys could drop a like on this video, that'd be absolutely amazing. You guys requested this video, and I hope you guys did enjoy it. These are some shotgun tips on how to win more shotgun gunfights, which is a major key to making yourself last more into the late game. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I'm out. Peace.